Hey everybody, Ryan here coming at you with a long-awaited Blu-ray, no DVDs, a Blu-ray and vinyl update. And some of this stuff is stuff I've gotten for very cheap recently, some of it's stuff I got for my birthday, some of it's stuff I got with my birthday money. I guess I'm going to go ahead and start with the vinyls first. Got a lot of good stuff. Now, this is one I got from my wife for my birthday. A soundtrack that I love. Every time I watch the film, other than me enjoying the film, the soundtrack is really one thing that stands out to me. And it doesn't have a release like right now on vinyl. And it's pretty much out of print, and it's pretty much out of print on like CD and stuff. So I don't know how my wife got this, but she got this. And it is the Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate soundtrack on vinyl. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. It has kind of like an Americana feel to it, and a lot of acoustics and a lot of just great sounding instruments. It's very peaceful and it's just amazing. I love it. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's beautiful. Next up is another one my wife got me for my birthday, and one of my favorite things to listen to, and now I have it on vinyl, and it is Simon and Garfunkel. This is the Greatest Hits album that has a lot of great music on it. Obviously, I would add probably at least 10 or 20 more to this to make it a real Greatest Hits, but I definitely love it, and I've listened to this probably like 20 times already. Just on this. I mean, I have the CD and the download, like the digital download of it. I mean, I listen to this album a lot. So yeah. Next up, I got this from one of my sister-in-laws and her husbands for my birthday, and her husband for my birthday. And this is one they know I wanted, and it is Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal album, and it's actually my favorite Led Zeppelin album, so I'm really glad to have this. Sorry, I had to go. I heard something downstairs and I needed to go check it out. I thought somebody was knocking at the door. But yeah, anyways, I love this album. It's my favorite Zeppelin album, and I have two other ones on vinyl, but this one is my absolute favorite. It's amazing. Okay, next up, pretty much one of my favorite bands for most of my life, pretty much. And my best friend Toby got this for me for my birthday, and it is Blink-182's Enema of the State on vinyl. And me and him have literally listened to this on this vinyl like 40 times probably already. One night we were just hanging out, we just kept listening to it and just kept flipping it. And yeah, I love this album. And next up is one that I have really been excited for. I ordered this like a week and a half ago when I saw that it was going to be released. Ooh, this is amazing. Straight from Mondo by Death Waltz Recording. Halloween, the original soundtrack on vinyl. This is the special 40th anniversary edition. This is the recordings that you hear in the film. As you guys may know, the vinyls and soundtrack of Halloween that you could order or buy or listen to is a remixed and remastered version that John Carpenter and his his fellow musicians that work with him did to kind of make it sound better through speakers and stereo and stuff, and just remixed it to sound better. But this, and if you love the film like I do, there's always something a little not off about the soundtracks that's been available, but it just doesn't match what your ear hears when you watch the movie, just for little differences. Not in terms of music, but just how it's mixed and how it sounds. This vinyl is that version. and it's been previously unavailable. Yeah, so that's the front. That's the back. And this is like the card that comes with it. I actually kept it because I want to be able to me, it's just part of it. And so it opens up, has like a dark welcome to Haddonfield sign, then this street with the light coming through right there. But now for the best thing about this whole thing. Look at this beauty. Look at that. That is spectacular. That is amazing. And I listened to this last night. I listened to the whole thing twice last night, right after I opened it. And I really want to get the other, some of the other ones that they've released. I really want the Halloween 2 soundtrack, and I really want the Halloween 3 soundtrack on vinyl really bad. I love those two scores. Now I just gotta put this back in here. In words of my good friend Luke, I'll leave that one in for free. So I'll close that. Let me close this back up now. Okay, next up we're gonna get to some Blu-rays. These two Blu-rays are Blu-rays I got for very cheap. I forget where I got them from, but I literally got them for like $4 each. They're two films that I really love. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels by Guy Ritchie, his first big movie, and this is still to this day my favorite Guy Ritchie film. Some people prefer Snatch to this film. I prefer this to Snatch, so I love this movie. And then also a movie I just loved. I love films that deal with grief, and I love like just depressing dramas. Manchester by the Sea. Really, I haven't seen this since I saw it in the cinema, and I have to be in the right mindset to watch it again, but I wanted to make sure I had it for when that time comes. Next up I got from Walmart for, oh wait, this was one other one I got at that same place. And Force 10 from Navarone with Robert Shaw and Harrison Ford. I read this book when I was younger. It's very loosely based on the book. The only thing that it has in common is some characters and the title. Basically, the entire narrative is brand new and completely different. But I grew up watching this and The Guns of Navarone, and even to this day, even though a lot of people might give me crap over it, I like this one more than The Guns of Navarone, just because maybe, I don't know, there's just something I just love about this film. Guns of Navarone is great. I would still say it's, a 3.5 out of 4 star film. And this one is probably only like a 4. To most people, it may be even a 2 or a 1. But I love this film, and it's so fun, and I just love it. Okay, so this, back to what I was talking about. This I got from Walmart, surprisingly, for only like $9. I was really shocked considering it's a Shout Factory release. And it's a movie, I read the book like a year ago, and it's a movie I've always wanted to see, but never got around to seeing it, so I'm glad I bought it. The Eagle Has Landed. Michael Caine, Donald Sutherland, Robert Duvall, directed by John Sturges. And I didn't really care for the book. And even though I liked the book. I read it about a year ago. I liked the book. But it just didn't translate as well to screen for me. This is still a fun film. But if you've seen it, you know what I mean by if I say it is very weird. It's very weird. There's some really weird things to it. Not necessarily things that happen. It's just the overall feel. It's just kind of awkward. But I'm glad to own it because I love this genre, like a war adventure genre, which is kind of like how Force 10 from Navarone is. And so I will definitely be giving this more watches, but I wasn't blown away like I had thought. And it's definitely not as amazing as the cover art. But it was all right. It was fun. In a weird way, I guess I could say. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Next up is something that just came in the mail recently. Spent some birthday money on it. these are films I love that I just never upgraded to Blu-ray because couldn't get the best deal on them. And one of the things on this title is out of print, and I've been wanting to get this for a while. So finally I saw this on eBay for like 10 bucks, and I had to get it. I don't know if this triple feature is out of print, but I do know that one of these films is out of print by itself. So it's the Oliver Stone triple feature with JFK, Any Given Sunday, Natural Born Killers, the director's cuts of all three. JFK is not available on its own. You can get like a double feature of JFK and Oliver Stone's America, which is something else I really like. But I wanted something, a standalone release, and I just got tired of waiting. So I got this because I've been wanting Any Given Sunday and Natural Born Killers on Blu-ray as well, the director's cuts. This has all three. Got it for about 10 bucks on eBay. Yes. The next thing is another film that I love by Oliver Stone, Nixon. I've always loved the works of Oliver Stone, especially pre. I really loved the final cut of Alexander. That's a movie that I'll go to my grave loving, even though a lot of people hate it. Pre-Alexander, Oliver Stone, phenomenal. After, not so much. I like W. I think it's fun, or not fun, but I think it's a good movie. If he had made it how he originally was going to make it, with all that extra footage that wasn't used, I think it would have been better. Some of his other stuff, but then I was really disappointed in Snowden. I really wanted it to be a controversial Oliver Stone offending everybody kind of a movie, kind of like these, like it's going to offend somebody, but it just seemed blah, kind of bland to me. And I was really disappointed in it. So glad to have these Oliver Stone movies to my collection. Next up is something that I got for my birthday from my wife. And it is my favorite Dario Argento film that I've seen. It is Phenomena. I love this film. Glad to have it finally on Blu-ray. Next up is a film that's an upgrade for me. I don't know why I held off buying this on Blu-ray. I don't know. I've just been watching my DVD since. One of my favorite films, one of my favorite film noirs, Double Indemnity, Billy Wilder. How can you go wrong with this movie? It is amazing. Why did I wait so long? I got it from my birthday from one of my sister-in-laws. Glad I have it. Next up is a movie I got really cheap. I hadn't seen it since I was younger. Really wanted to revisit it. It's Halloween, might as well. Return of the Living Dead. So glad I watched this again. It is a blast. If you're watching this video and you've seen it, there's really no need for me to go further into it, but it is so fun. This is a fun zombie movie. Next up is an upgrade for me. Spent some birthday money on this film I really dig, and one of my favorite scores. I love Giorgio Moroder. I think he's phenomenal. And yeah, Oliver Stone wrote this movie. Alan Parker directed it. Midnight Express. Oh, Billy. Every time I see this movie, though, there's that one part where, you know, his girlfriend is lifting up her shirt, you know, because he's stuck in a Turkish prison. She's lifting up her shirt and putting her breast against the glass, and he's crying, and she's saying, "Oh, Billy," and I always think of The Cable Guy. It is, I don't know, every single time I watch this movie, and it's like a depressing scene in this movie, but in The Cable Guy, all I see and hear is Jim Carrey. So yeah, Midnight Express. Next up is I've been really digging into Werner Herzog lately, and always been a fan of his for years. I've owned a few of his films for years, and I always catch everything that he does, documentaries and everything, and I never saw this film. I knew it had a hellish production. I had to get it, and it's Fitzcarraldo. This movie is amazing. Slow moving, but I love slow moving movies. It's beautiful. And it's just about a guy who just loves the opera, and he wants to bring the opera to the Amazon, to all the people in the Amazon. In order to do that, he needs to raise some money. In order to raise some money, he needs to drag this steamship over a mountain into the next river. Insanity. And this production was hellish. Criterion has a documentary called Burden of Dreams about the making of the film, and it doesn't. And that movie doesn't even scratch the surface of what happened. But let's just say, Civil War broke out. All this, I mean, craziness. Highly recommend it. And that's also another title from Shout Factory. Last and certainly not least, I got this the same time I got Return of the Living Dead. Saw this film when I was younger, barely remembered it, have avoided it ever since. And so the last few years when I wanted to watch it again, I avoided it the same reason why some other people do. Halloween 3, because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it. Finally watched it, loved it, loved it. Now this is like one of my favorite movies to watch around Halloween. I love John Carpenter's score. The idea behind this movie, to do anthology movies instead, now it like leaves me wanting more. Make a TV series, something Halloween related every year. I loved the new Halloween film, and I really love this one. And I'm sad that some people just hate it. And to me, even though John Carpenter didn't direct it, this feels like a John Carpenter film. It looks like a John Carpenter film. And plus, anything that has Tom Atkins in it is amazing. Tom Atkins is amazing. My buddy Jason, formerly of the Beyond the Realms channel, used to do these live viewings on what's that one app that you could do, Periscope. And he would watch movies, and we all watched it together. And there was one night we were watching The Fog, and Tom Atkins was on there. He was, kind of drunk in his video. I had a few drinks, so like we were all just talking crazy. And he was like, "Man, Tom Atkins, it seems like he walks into a movie and just sleeps with somebody. The women just fall after him." And his nickname was Mojo Atkins. And I remember when I watched this a few weeks ago, I texted him and I was like, "Hey Jason, this movie's awesome. How can it not be? It has Mojo Atkins in it." And yeah, it was just a funny story. But I love this film so much. So guys, that's it for this update. It's been a while. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you've seen down below. And if you haven't, be sure to check out my 24-hour movie marathon video for this year. It went up a few days ago. Did a live premiere viewing of it, and that went great. The response has been phenomenal so far, and it has me motivated to make a bunch of videos again. Baseball season's over, and so officially, those of you guys who know me, I don't hide it on social media. Huge, obsessed Boston Red Sox fan, so I am very happy that we won the World Series. Baseball's over, so that leaves more time for me to make videos. Something I very much missed. I tried getting back into making them once a week about a month and a half ago, and baseball and work and everything just took over, just ran out of energy. I'm here. So, got a lot of cool things that I want to review. I want to make a full video on Halloween 3 and Fitzcarraldo, so you can look forward to that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.